What is up, everybody? Welcome to Team Amasian presents Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, all you need to know. Let me introduce myself. My name is Campea, one half of Team Amasian, and joining me to my right is the other half of Team Amasian.
Hey guys, Korra here. I hope you guys are doing well. We're so excited to be sharing Guardians of the Galaxy info with you.
Awesome. And Team Amasian is activating to talk everything Guardians, as Corey has just said, with the rush of anticipation and excitement for the release of the first trailer, which was actually debuted on Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight, and we actually just finished watching it, which is really, really cool. We thought the timing would be perfect to drop this video detailing all of the important characters that you'll encounter in the film, as well as the actors that were set and cast to portray them. Now, of course, we're going to share our reaction to the Guardians trailer at the end of this video, in hopes that you, along with us, Team Amasian, will gain a better understanding of who these cosmic Avengers are and help us prepare for the faces that we'll encounter when we see the film in August. So, Corey, why don't we start with who the Guardians are?
Okay, so very important. Who are they? So Guardians of the Galaxy are a group of cosmic heroes who form a proactive line of defense against potential threats to the universe. The group is led by Peter Quill, also known as the Star-Lord. The team uses Nowhere as their base of operation, which is part of an unidentified celestial that floats at the edge of the universe. The iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy that we can expect to see in the film includes the following members: Peter Quill, Drax the Destroyer, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot.
Now let's start off by detailing who exactly the leader of the Guardians is. Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. Like I said, he's the leader of the Guardians, and his first appearance in the comics was actually in Marvel Preview issue number 4 in 1976. Hence is why I think they are playing that 1970s music in that trailer, but we'll get to that a little bit later. That just hit me right now.
Fun music.
Peter Quill is the son of a human and a Spartoy, actually Prince Jason of Spartoy, and his hybrid making grants him peak human abilities such as super strength, durability, agility, stamina, high mental performance, longevity, which means he can live an average of 3 times longer than a human, expert marksman, being well-versed in the use of firearms from all over the galaxy, an expert in hand-to-hand combat, master strategist. I'm losing my breath because this guy seems really amazing. Problem solver, skilled in battle techniques, not to mention an accomplished starship pilot. He actually is psychically linked to his starship, which we see a little bit of a preview in the trailer. And let me see if we could pull up this GIF that we pulled from the trailer as well. Which they refer to his starship in the comics as a living entity. Now, Star-Lord's chosen weapons are 2 Kree guns with various types of ammunition, including explosives. Now, Chris Pratt is set to play Star-Lord here. And let's give our thoughts on Chris Pratt, because for me, anyone that knows me, including John, knows that I am in love with Chris Pratt. I have the biggest crush on Chris Pratt, and I actually should have pulled up the picture I have with him because you could tell I'm freaking out. I'm holding a random fork in my hand because I don't know what's going on.
I understand.
But this is the year of Chris Pratt, I think. He had the Lego movie that just came out, which was a huge hit, an unexpected huge hit. Now he's going to be starring in Guardians of the Galaxy as the lead character, Star-Lord. And I think from what I read in the comics, his temperament, his personality is perfect for this type of character. He's supposed to be a little brash, a little youthful, and just a little bit off the wall, kind of aloof. And he kind of reminds me of Andy Dwyer in Parks and Recreation in the way we saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Chris Pratt?
I totally agree with you that he seems like the perfect fit for this character, especially after seeing the trailer. It just finalized my thought on that because he has that youthful sense of humor, but he also's got that man look to him. So I think it's a good fit. And yes, I like how you said it is his year because his Lego movie is doing great. He's also just had a child with Anna Faris.
Yes.
So props
doing
to you,
big
Chris
things.
Pratt. Yeah.
And he met Anne Campea.
He
I
did.
don't know if that's cool enough, but
And you also, didn't you meet Vince Vaughn at that same time?
I did. It was the one for Delivery Man, so that was pretty cool.
And which is, I love Vince Vaughn,
Dream
but
come
no,
true.
she was like, Vince Vaughn, hey, Chris Pratt, hey.
All right, so let's move on to Gamora.
Okay. So let's talk about Gamora for a little bit. Gamora, she made her first appearance in Strange Tales issue number 180. Gamora is the adopted daughter of Thanos. Excuse me, I always do that. Thanos or Thanos?
Thanos.
Depending. Okay, having been discovered by Thanos as an infant after her race was demolished by the Universal Church of Truth. Now, Thanos thought, how brilliant would it be to alter Gamora's perception so that she would not see how evil he was, and perhaps turn her into his protege. Unfortunately for Thanos, this backfired and Gamora was exposed to his evil ways. In the comics, Gamora joins the Guardians to fight against Thanos. So, yeah, I think that, Zoe Saldana, she might be pretty good. She's a good actress. She's a good actress.
You're a little hesitant there. I think this is the first time we're seeing her in a different color besides blue.
And she actually made that a point, that she joked about how she's excited to be in a different color as well. Because
funny.
she's also working on
Avatar 2.
the Avatar 2.
How funny is that? She must get sick and tired of getting her body painted.
It must be fun. Are you kidding?
You think?
I imagine. Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because I know we still have to talk about the trailer at the end.
I know.
But I'll reserve how I think she looked in the trailer until the end.
Fine.
But I am excited to see her in this role. She's been in some action-ish type movies. I'm interested to see her relationship with Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord. I wonder if they'll have a relationship. And I also wonder if she's going to try to crack any jokes, because from what we've been told, this movie is actually supposed to be really funny, and I don't know that I see her as a comedian, but who knows, she might have great comedic timing.
She's been in some romantic comedy type movies. I think the one she was where she met Bradley Cooper for the first time when they became an item.
Oh yeah,
they were in some kind of romantic semi comic, so she had comical movies, so she had that aspect up her sleeve perhaps, so we'll see.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so next member of the Guardians we want to talk about is Drax the Destroyer. Now, he made his first appearance in Iron Man number 55 in 1973. Now, interestingly enough, his place of birth is listed as Burbank, California.
Burbank.
What do you know? Now, Drax is credited with defeating Thanos not once, but twice. A former saxophonist named Arthur Douglas, he and his family were actually killed by Thanos while driving across the Mojave Desert. It was Kronos who recovered Douglas's astral form and used it to create the superhuman warrior we now know as Drax the Destroyer. Kaori, do you want to start off by talking about Dave Bautista, who has been cast as Drax?
Yes, I think this is also really good casting. I know Dave Bautista is not, he's not a veteran actor, but in terms of looks and what he has to offer, and based on the trailer, and I'm not going to go too far on that, I think he's really well casted for this part. Dave Bautista is one of the best wrestlers of the decade, I would say.
Oh, wow. Big words.
I'm not saying of all time, but
Nice.
of the decade,
Very cool.
Be fair. And right now he's currently the Royal Rumble champ,
I can't believe it.
which I'm laughing because,
We'll reserve that for another after show where we talk about wrestling. But yeah, he's just there to promote Guardians, which I'm okay with, whatever. But I have to say, I agree with you. I think he looks great in the role. I saw him in Man with the Iron Fists, and he played what looks wise played a character very similar that was painted gold and had kind of some markings on his body, and he was just in excellent shape. And so for Drax the Destroyer, the guy who has beat Thanos not once but twice, this is the type of guy I would look at and say, yes, I totally believe this guy could beat Thanos twice. So I'm glad that they cast Dave in this role. So let's move on then to our favorite tree character, Groot. Kaori?
Groot. This guy is so cute and scary all at the same time. Not as cute as the raccoon, but okay. So Groot is a tree-like humanoid who first appeared in Tales to Astonish number 13 in 1960. All right, so let me say that I read this comic and was taken aback by the thought of an indestructible extraterrestrial tree. Groot has the power to regenerate and can communicate telepathically with plant life, including other trees, and can summon the trees to attack. His obvious weakness is fire, but as long as even just a branch of Groot is recovered, he has the ability to regenerate his entire form. In space, the only words spoken by Groot are, "I am Groot," which I think will make Vin Diesel's life a bit easier. Speaking of Vin Diesel, let's talk about Vin Diesel being casted. Anne, go ahead.
Well, I think he lobbied for some sort of Marvel. Well, he played with the fans a bit because I remember leading up to him, them announcing that he would be the voice of Groot. He was, hinting on this Facebook page. He was saying he was meeting with Marvel or whatever. And everyone was speculating, which character is he going to be? Mm-hmm. They weren't even considering Guardians at the time, I don't think. But he was just toying with the fans, and I thought it was great. And so the fact that Vin Diesel is cast in this role, I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah. I have to say, I like the character in the comic books. I think that he's got a lot of potential. I like to say he, but it's a tree. I enjoyed reading him in Tales to Astonish as well because he is just feared by humans, and I think the to command such a fearful audience is the voice of Vin Diesel. Oh
yeah, he's got a great voice, and he actually said that the reason why he's got such an interesting voice is because he lost his voice in his youth and he got it back. So interesting. See, good things happen when you lose. You lose, you gain something better.
All right, so let's move on to the furry little friend, Rocket Raccoon.
This one's the cutest. I'm happy we're there.
Where is he?
There No.
We're losing him. Here he is.
There he is.
Rocket Raccoon, who is a genetically engineered raccoon who made his first appearance in Marvel Preview number 7 in 1976. Rocket has many of the same abilities as a normal raccoon, such as a heightened sense of smell and sight as compared to a human. He is an expert marksman as well. He wears rocket skates that enable him to fly short distances and always carries a laser pistol. In the comics, I found Rocket's long tales of adventure to be quite funny and animated. So I'm really interested in hearing how Bradley Cooper will voice this furry Avenger. Bradley Cooper to me has really good comedic timing. We've seen him in Hangover. Mm-hmm. We've seen him. I can't even think of, but Hangover
American
is
Hustle
classic.
Even
right. I think for this, for Bradley Cooper to voice this character is perfect. Now, this character in the comics loves to tell tales, and people oftentimes don't believe him, but he's really boisterous about it and really funny about all the adventures he's gone on. So I'm really interested to hear if Bradley Cooper is actually going to change his tone or his, the way he inflects in his voice, or he's just going to use his normal speaking voice.
Yeah, because, we're not going to the trailer, even though I really want to. Bradley Cooper actually has, you said boisterous, and I think that is totally Bradley Cooper. Mm-hmm. It's like the perfect, I can imagine his voice now on that raccoon because we didn't see that on the trailer at all, that voice. So I'm really excited, and I love me some Bradley Cooper.
Yes. Now, too bad the raccoon's face just doesn't kind of look like Bradley Cooper.
But he's cute. The raccoon's cute.
He is cute. All right, so that actually concludes our introduction of the Guardians characters. We wanted to go a little bit into who the baddies are of the film. Mm-hmm. Who are the bad guys? And also some other important characters to note, because we did actually see some of those that we're going to describe for you in the trailer that we just watched. So let's go with the first main bad guy, Ronan the Accuser, who is actually portrayed by Lee Pace, who we've seen in The Hobbit. And we'll talk a little bit about our thoughts on Lee in just a second. But Ronan the Accuser made his first appearance in Fantastic Four number 65 in 1967. And he actually feuded with Fantastic Four when they defeated a sentry left on Earth. He was born on planet Hala, the capital of Kree Empire, and is a member of the Accuser Corps, who are the Kree equivalent of military governors and jurists. His rise through the ranks was extraordinary, and he eventually became the third most powerful being in the Kree Empire. The Supreme Intelligence appointed him Supreme Accuser of the Kree Empire, and in this role, he is known simply as Ronan the Accuser. Now, he has the ability to adapt his body to survive any hostile environment. He can disintegrate, transmute, rearrange matter, absorb project energy blasts, create time motion displacement fields, and achieve interstellar teleportation using his universal weapon, making him a formidable foe for the Guardians. Now, Kaori, let's talk about Lee Pace in this role. Do you have any thoughts that you want to share first?
I'm not too familiar with him as an actor other than The Hobbit and playing Legolas's dad. Mm-hmm. So even in The Desolation of Smaug, he was kind of evil. I'm sure he's going to be 1,000 times more in this upcoming movie. But I'm interested and curious to see how his acting chops will fare.
Yeah. Especially as the main bad guy. Mm-hmm. I loved him in Desolation of Smaug.
Oh, me too.
He gave me chills. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those, he's kind of got a quiet kind of grace about him, but you also have to fear it. Mm-hmm. And you know that he's come from this background where he's battled dragons or whatever in Hobbit. And the way that he kind of told that story and then he revealed his face, I just he's a good bad guy in Desolation of Smaug that I have to believe he's going to be great in this role as Ronan the Accuser. I think that it's going to take a little bit of depth in the acting ability, and I think Lee has it. So I'm excited to see him.
I think I'm pretty sure he has it. I would bet on that.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
All right, so let's move on to Yondu, I believe, is the next character we have here.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about, Merle, Walking Dead. Okay, sorry. All right. So Yondu made his first appearance in Marvel Superheroes number 18. Yondu is a game hunter of the primitive Zatoan tribe. Yondu possesses no superhuman physical powers, but is a natural mystique like his entire tribe. His intuitive, sixth sense, there's a lot of things that I can't pronounce, permits him limited empathetic relationships with other life forms. And he is obviously portrayed by Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead, who I'm so excited to see again on screen, whether it's TV or in the big screen, because he's a great actor. We know that he's going to carry being a villain very well. So perfect casting again. I mean, so far, most of it head on nail for this.
Yeah, he looks great. Let me just pull up that shot again. If you look at the image there on the right here, he looks amazing in character. And I remember actually being at the Comic-Con Guardians of the Galaxy press line. Yeah. And had a little bit of a chat with his wife, and she was just so very excited that Michael landed this role.
Hold on. His wife was at the press line and waiting in line?
She was just standing waiting for him.
Oh, okay, I was that sucks. Why would he make his wife wait in line?
No, she was kind of in the back hanging out. And so
she is a villain.
She's like, ooh. No, but she was, she was really proud of Michael. And the fact that, he got killed off of Walking Dead. I was actually kind of sad to see his character go. I was telling Corey that before we started. The fact that he's in this movie now, I'm really excited to see him because I think he is a good actor.
I agree.
And I think he's perfect for this role as well. He's going to kick some ass. So let's move on to Nebula, who is portrayed by, I believe, Karen Gillan. And we'll talk about her in just a second. Let me pull up the graphic here. All right, so Nebula, an employee of Thanos and feared across numerous star systems for her ruthless piracy, made her first appearance in Avengers number 257 in 1985. Nebula is an advanced strategist and ruthless leader and can use various high-tech devices of alien origin, which we have an awesome GIF that we want to pull up that we actually took from the trailer.
Borrowed.
She looks pretty badass.
Oh my gosh, she looks fierce.
I'm sorry, but if she was standing in front of me, I would be scared.
She looks quite dangerous. I'm already like, whoa, every time I see that, it doesn't change.
Yeah, so Karen Gillan is actually famous for her role in Doctor Who. And unfortunately, I don't watch Doctor Who.
I am not familiar with Doctor Who either, other than I should be familiar with it.
Sorry,
Every
guys.
time people are shocked, you haven't seen Doctor Who? Yeah, I'm probably a million seasons behind. But
Me too.
she is from Doctor Who, and she did shave her head for the role. So props to her, because
Yes.
that would be really hard to do.
Yes, and she revealed at the Comic-Con panel, you know, she had a wig on that looked beautiful on her, and I couldn't tell that wasn't her real hair. And then she pulled off the wig, and she was bald. And I'm like, any chick who is willing to shave their head, just like Anne Hathaway did for Les Mis and Karen Gillan for this role in Nebula, props, like Kiari said. Very big props to you.
Hair is very important.
Good, yeah.
She's already thinking.
So looking forward to seeing her kick ass in that role as well. So
All
let's
right.
move on.
What do we got next, Anne?
Korath the Pursuer.
All right, so let's talk about him. So Korath the Pursuer first appeared in Quasar number 32 in 1992. He's a brilliant cyber geneticist who was one of the creators of the Pursuer project. Like all Kree, Korath is stronger and more durable than a comparable humanoid specimen. He's well trained in ancient Kree martial arts and carries 2 beta batons capable of firing strong energy blasts. He also uses protective body armor to fly. All right, so he is portrayed by, and again, another thing I can't pronounce, Djimon Hounsou. Huh? Djimon Hounsou.
I'm not even going to try. This
I'm like, back me up half. Back me up other half.
So this guy is one of those actors where I feel like I see him in anything I watch. But I can't particularly point out one thing that I love him in or that I'm really familiar with him in. But I feel like I see this actor all the time. Do you have anything?
That's funny because I know him by the cryptic name, and 2, by his face.
Yeah.
And so every time I know he's in a movie, I always have a hunch that the movie is going to be good. Because every time I see him or remember him, it's somehow he's memorable on screen. One of the big ones is, of course, I forget the name of the movie, The Black Diamond, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
And he did such a phenom job that across the board, moving forward, I know that he's gonna nail himself. Not nail himself. That sounds really He's gonna nail the role of Korath. So
yes,
yeah, I'm excited about
another
him.
guy that I would be afraid to be standing in front of while he's holding that big gun.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Roman Day, who is a high-ranking officer of the Nova Corps, made his first appearance in Nova number 1 in 1976. I think we're seeing a little bit of a trend here with the 70s characters.
Yeah.
And possesses the powers of superhuman strength, endurance, resistance, and flight. We actually did see this character in their trailer, so we're going to talk about him in just a little bit.
Okay.
And this character is portrayed by the one and only John C. Reilly, who I absolutely love. He's my favorite. He voices a commercial right now, and I love hearing his voice. I can't even remember what commercial it is, but I fell in love with this guy in Step Brothers, which is, for those of you that know me, is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So the fact that he's in this movie makes me believe even more that what they're setting out to do, which is make this movie really funny, it's going to happen, because you've got John C. Reilly, you've got Chris Pratt, you've got Bradley Cooper. I mean, you've got all these people who have great comedic timing. So together, I think we're going to be laughing quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, already on the trailer. Let's not go further, but what she said about John C. Reilly. Very
Awesome.
exciting stuff. And we've got one more, right?
Yes. One that everyone should actually be familiar with. The Collector.
The Collector. Very excited about this guy. He's a powerful member of the Elders of the Universe. The Elders of the Universe are powerful extraterrestrial beings who are among the oldest sentient beings in all the cosmos. Okay, so for most of us, we will be reintroduced to the Collector, who, out of all the characters we talked about, has already made his appearance on the big screen in Thor: The Dark World. In the mid-credit scene, Sif and Volstagg give to the Collector the, oh my gosh, Aether to keep in his collection, claiming they don't want to keep 2 Infinity Stones close together with the Tesseract already in Asgard. As they leave, the Collector remarks, 1 down, 5 to go. So, yay, we get to hang out with the Collector. or maybe nay, because he's not the best person ever. Benicio del Toro, who will always hands down do a phenomenal job whatever he does. He's a great actor. I think again they casted really well for this role.
Again, all across the board. Shocked. I think a lot of us average to non-comic book fans were a bit confused by that mid-credits scene. I know a lot of people who had to look up why did this guy look like that. A lot of people actually thought that mid-credit scene was a joke of not actually linking anything from Thor, but it did. And that line that you just read, 1 down, 5 to go, really sets up the premise for what we're going to see in
Absolutely,
Guardians.
yeah.
And Benicio del Toro, again, he looked great.
He always does. Just like he always changes so much.
As
for
bizarre
his
as he looked, he just looked great as well. So
he looks like a Latin Brad Pitt to me.
I was going to say that.
Doesn't
I just didn't know if I was going to offend anybody. But yes, that's exactly what I...
Well, how could it ever be offensive to look like Brad Pitt or Benicio del Toro? Brad Pitt looks like a white Benicio del Toro. How about that?
Thank you. Took the words out of my mouth. All right. So there are others, though, that we didn't mention. Of course, we wanted to get through at least some of the main good and baddies in the film and some of the other exterior characters. But, you know, Glenn Close as Commodore Reilly, the leader of the Nova Corps as well. Who else is in here that people would recognize?
Maybe Ophelia Lovibond? I don't know.
I think Sean Gunn is actually the one who's doing the Rocket Raccoon movement, I think.
Yes, I heard
Correct me
about
if I'm
that.
wrong on that. And then director James Gunn, hello, with that kind of caliber of director as well. We're being set up for, I think, something that will be good. So let's move on. I want to get to our reaction to the trailer, but Kara, do you want to give a shout out to any of the predictions or anything that maybe our fans would want to see?
How are you first?
All right. Okay,
I'm like,
okay, we're gonna give our reaction to the trailer. We actually didn't expect to see the trailer before we made this video, which is kind of funny, but perfect timing. So just seconds before we started recording, we actually saw the trailer, and I have to say, for me, I believe that it's going to be a badass movie. I think so. I think that they set the tone in the trailer. There's not going to be any surprises that this is supposed to be different than what we've seen. It's not as dark as something like Thor or Thor 2. It's a little more lighthearted, like the Avengers. And I think with Chris Pratt at the helm, you're going to get that kind of comedy, but also a little bit of drama put in there.
Yeah, I that's totally what I felt watching the trailer, that it's going to have a lighthearted feel that is going to be more fun than your typical Avengers movie. Of course, Marvel movies do have a lot of comical aspects to it, but this trailer, more than any that I've witnessed in the past couple years, along with the music that they chose, with the hooked on a feeling, like we know that this movie is going to be enjoyable on different genres. So I'm really, really excited, and I've been reading up about a lot of how the actors decided to prepare for the role, whether they chose, like you said, to do the CGI or like Bradley Cooper really studied raccoons amazingly, and the raccoon, they didn't want, even though I kept saying it's cute, they don't want it to be cute. They want it to be a beast, right?
Right.
So I'm sure when I see the movie, I'm going to eat my own words and say that raccoon's scary. But
when he's pointing like two bazooka things at you, then yeah, I think you would be a little bit scared.
Yeah.
So I did want to go back to that mid-credit scene because, you know, it sets us up for a battle over the Infinity Stones. And so for those that are familiar with the comics, they're known as the Infinity Gems in the comic universe. And so somebody who actually can get their hands on all of this power will actually have complete power over certain aspects of the universe. So depending on which gem you have, you could have control over time, space, reality, mind, power, and soul. And so actually when somebody possesses all of them, then nothing is impossible for that person. It's a scary, scary thing.
Is it kind of like Voldemort getting all of his pieces?
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy. So the fact that, we have people like the Collector who are after the Infinity Stones, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy who obviously their goal in life is to defend the universe, then we're going to have some epic battles, I think. And we see a lot of explosions and a lot of gunfire, and we see a funny taser scene in the trailer. And I think action, we're not going to have a complaint that there's not enough action in this movie. I think we're going to see a lot. And then, like I said, comedy is going to be there. And then I want to see how far they can go with the caliber of the actors that they cast, like we've been saying.
I'm very intrigued by not only the big five, but I'm very intrigued by how the villains are going to do. Very interested in how they're going to come off with their costumes, their makeup, and how villainous they'll be. That is what really, really strikes my curiosity. And I also really like how Marvel ties in all of their movies somehow together.
Yes.
I think that's just awesome. It's a great way of getting us interested for the next one, wondering, because they always throw in little trailers or whatever you want to call them at the end of the credits. Right. And like the last Avengers, we saw Thanos. Is that right?
Thanos.
I can never pronounce that guy's name.
Maybe I'm wrong.
He's evil. That's why.
Thanos.
Let us know. I like the end credits, we saw him, we're like, oh my gosh, and now maybe that might be why, because Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know, there's just a lot of things going on.
It's like a quiet storm of all these pieces that are brewing that eventually will come together. And the nice thing about Marvel is that they've decided to take a risk on the Guardians of the Galaxy, a group that really is unknown to, I would say, 90% of people. And they're doing a really good job with the marketing of this movie. I know it took a long time for the trailer to come out, but they're doing the teaser trailer to the trailer. They're doing it right. And they're probably going to continue to hype it up. Bautista, right?
Back in the WWE at winning the Royal Rumble. I wonder why. How convenient.
Exactly. and there's a chance that we would still see something Guardians in this Comic-Con, because I mean, I know the movie's probably done, but they could still do some more promotion at Comic-Con because the movie doesn't come out until August 1st, 2014. So there's a lot to look forward to, and I think this was just the beginning. And having Chris Pratt, Star-Lord himself, introduce this first trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy on Jimmy Kimmel Live was the perfect way to kick off this year of the Guardians, I guess we can call it. So, Corey, I guess that will do it for us. We've talked enough about the Guardians. I'm sure you guys have your own predictions, your own theories, your own comments on the Guardians trailer, on anything that we spoke about today. So let us know. Leave us a comment. Send us a tweet, however you want to do it. And speaking of Twitter, Corey, where can people chat with you?
You can chat with me, keep the conversation going. Talk to us about what you thought about this video, how excited you are, what you thought of the trailer, right here, KAORIOUS.
And you can follow me at Ann Campea, and then you can follow both of us at Team Amasian.
Amazing.
And so I guess at this point, with just over 5 months until Guardians is released on August 1st, you can say with certainty that 5 months feels like an eternity for me. I don't know about Corey, but for me, it feels like a long time.
It does, but there's a lot of movies out there that's coming up that I'm ready to watch. There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Ready for that.
That will hold us over.
Yeah.
That will definitely hold us over.
And Firefly After Show. Check out our new Firefly After Show.
Yes, retro after show. And Arrow should be back next week.
Yes.
And all this good stuff, so.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Maybe I'll be distracted. But let's hope that tonight's trailer and whatever other marketing plans Marvel has will hold us over until then.
Yes.
So until next time, everybody, be amazing.